Hi there. So me and Cyrus, we've been watching a lot of documentaries on Netflix, and I think it's a good way to get people into documentaries as well. But we watched a documentary about Joaquin Phoenix. He made a documentary in 2010. Basically, in 2008, Joaquin Phoenix was an Oscar nominee, and he walked away. But he walked away from that to pursue a rap career. And a lot of times people say it was like a bizarre detour based on his need to retire and pursue his rap career. A lot of people may remember him when he came on the Leno show, and he had like this really big beard, and his hair was kind of getting knotted up, and he had a peculiar way of acting. He's also known for the movie that what's that movie called?
The Johnny Cash movie, actually.
Yeah, I know Johnny Cash movie, but I just don't know the name of it. So we basically watched it, and I kind of was interested in it because I hear a lot of gossip about it, like it was a fake movie or documentary, but it was actually real.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could look at it as you see. I don't want to get mean, but somebody self-destruct on screen. So
yeah, I would have to say I cringed a lot in this movie. It's pretty sad in a way because at the same time I can understand that him being an actor, always consistently being in front of television, and or an acting role, it's having to play a role, but then also have to play the role in your interviews. He kind of felt like he wanted just to like be himself. But a lot of times it kind of questions, do you want to be himself or do you just want to indulge into a lot of his, into his darkness? We were just taking, in the movie, or in the documentary actually, he was taking a lot of drugs. He was pretty bizarre.
I mean, when I looked at the movie, I just looked at it as an example of people who have darkness in them or have whatever, could be past traumas or things that happened in their childhood or things like that, and they never resolve them, and they manifest later on in life, even when they're at a successful point. Mm-hmm. I think the movie was interesting because you kind of see how...
Or documentary. We keep calling it movie, but it's documentary.
Documentary. Mm-hmm. You see how, in a sense, people in Hollywood take themselves very seriously. So sometimes it's almost like, okay, I'm going to stop doing movies and do an album. And to a regular person, you may say, well, damn, can I even rap? Can I even do the profession? Mm-hmm. But in Hollywood, because you think people love you, mm-hmm. and you start to kind of believe that hype,
right.
You actually think the world revolves around you. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, when it crashes, you can see his expression in the movie. It's like, damn, like, what did I do? I messed my life up.
He had like an epiphany or realization.
But I think so much celebrities crash and burn because they actually believe the hype.
Right.
They actually believe that, when you get in, like, giving like 50 interviews in one day for, a movie and stuff like that people love you. Mm-hmm. And realistically, they'll enjoy seeing you fall just as much as they see you rise. They'll probably enjoy seeing you fall more.
I know. The public can be very harsh. The public can be very harsh. And it was interesting because, like, he at the same time, I do have to admit that he did give an honest, which is brave of him, an honest view. He didn't hold anything back of the things that he did in the point of retiring from acting, pursuing a rap career, and realizing that he pretty much made the wrong decision, or he wasn't being realistic in his decision. I mean, there's nudity in this, there's drug use, there's prostitution. I mean, he does everything like he doesn't hold back anything. With no shame. So in a way, I have to applaud his realness about it. And then, so you saw a lot of real emotions in it. I mean, a lot of times I cringe because I'm like, I can't believe it. I can't believe like this is all being shown. It's definitely. I don't think a lot of people are going to do it, but I do applaud his braveness for it. But it's really interesting because it's kind of sad when you see some of that just trying to break something that so many people strive to be. I mean, so many people strive to be at his point of an Oscar nominee, and then someone who, from a different perception, got it, but doesn't like being on the pedestal and always having to be perfect for the world to accept you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting it was interesting documentary. 'Cause I just think it's kind of symbolic, even though it may not happen as extreme with a lot of celebs, but a lot of celebrities. I mean, you can look at people, Lindsay Lohan, whoever you want to name.
Britney Spears with her name, yeah.
They just rise and fall, and it's sad in a sense because they just believe they're hype, and it's just like you see them. And it was interesting because the thing I liked about the documentary is you could see in his face he was like, "Damn, what did I do?" But it's like once you make that first move, it's very hard to go back because the pride stops.
You have to be careful. And he was making, Puff Daddy was in this documentary too, and he was trying to get his little record label with Puff Daddy and pursuing him in so many ways. And the thing that was really interesting about this whole thing was watching, like, if you're at a certain degree of fame, sometimes you don't know who your friends are because he had people all around him. And I'm like, where is his publicist or anyone just like not being real with him? I mean, there was one actor that's been real with him, but he was so delusional. He kind of took the guy's, about the analogy of a water and used it to his own purpose of what he was trying to do. But I mean, he basically, as an artist, he definitely wasn't the best. However, his friends around him did not try to let him know that. So I mean, he went on stage. He did demos, and it was like, are you kidding me? Like, why are your friends not telling you this? You know what I mean?
Well, watching the documentary reminded me of an HBO show called Entourage, where a guy's an actor who he shows him going through Hollywood and crashing and burning and rising, and it reminded me of Entourage because the character kind of went through the same thing where he fell apart eventually, but he rose back up. And I think he rose back up because he kept his friends from where he grew up.
Right.
And I think that's what happened. I think that's what happened in Hollywood. Like you look at guys like Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington, they stay sane because they kind of don't get into it. They make movies. They have regular women and regular wives, and they just kind of keep themselves separated. You don't see them in industry parties like getting drunk.
Right.
It'll be shocking to see that because they don't.
Right, and then you have to think of it as like if you are in Hollywood, you have to see it that is like your work. So it's better just to keep your work and your personal life separated. If you want to get drunk with your coworkers and your boss, you could have ramifications in your work environment from it. Exactly. So bad publicity is going to be something that's going to have to deal with it. So you kind of have to keep it separated. And I don't know, the fact that he did it he made this whole transition, which is awesome. It's great for people to find themselves, but he really should have found himself before he made that,
I agree.
And I'm just curious to see what he's going to do in these next couple of years. I haven't heard of him doing anything since then, but and at the same time, I wonder, like, is this still real? Like, the documentary, like, because if it's fake, like, it's genius because it's awesome acting, but there was parts that I can't. It was real. I mean,
well, he hasn't really done anything since that time period. So
that's kind of bad publicity. I don't see why you would do that.
So,
but that's the. It's on Netflix too. It's called "I'm Still Here." Joaquin Phoenix. So, just a suggestion.
Cool.
Peace.
Until next time.
Peace.